Today, I'm Sophia Lucia Parola with Garden State Film Festival. We are in our 22nd year in Asbury Park, New Jersey and Cranford, New Jersey. You can come check it out. It will be over 200 films coming from 14 different countries, all different types of films, all various topics, and it'll be March 21st through March 24th in various venues. And one of the films you can check out is a short film called Bonding. Here to talk with us about this film is the writer, director, and one of the stars of the film, Luke Rex, who is in this black box. We can't see him, but if you want to see him, come see the film because you can see this amazing man in that film. And also here is Darren Lapari, who plays one of the actors in the film, Bo. Hello, thank you both so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Great to be here, even in the ether. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy we hear your voice because it's a great voice. So we're happy we got it anyway.
Thank you.
Congratulations on making Bonding and getting accepted into Garden State Film Festival.
Yeah, ecstatic, really happy. We're about 6 months into our run.
Wow.
And extremely happy with the acceptance.
Lovely. And me and Darren were talking a little bit before we started the live, and I hear it's already winning some awards. It's doing well in the festival run, right?
Yeah, we're doing really well right now. We had our world premiere at St. Kilda in June last year, Academy Award qualifying festival. And then I submitted to a lot of regional festivals and student festivals. I wanted to put it out there as much as I could.
Yeah.
We had our US premiere at LA Shorts shortly thereafter last year, I think in June, July. And yeah, I think right now we're at about 50 award wins and then another 50 nominations. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
That's incredible. That is incredible. I'm so excited for our Garden State Film Festival to watch this and for it to premiere in New Jersey at the, the biggest first New Jersey premiere indie film fest. It's going to be huge.
Well, New Jersey's close to my heart because when I moved out to the US in 2006 on my green card to pursue an acting career before I became a psychologist, I lived in New Jersey.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I lived right on Boulevard East there, right near the Galaxy. West New York there.
Wow.
Yeah, for a few months.
Oh, incredible. That's so, are you gonna make, we're going all over the map before we even talk about this film, but will you be there in person, Luke?
Unfortunately, I can. I have commitments here with my psychology work where I've worked with adolescents in a residential treatment center and their families. So I'll be out in Los Angeles, unfortunately.
You'll be there in spirit. We got Bonding there. But first, guys, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and who you are?
Go ahead, Darren.
Oh, Omar, just in general or just in the film?
No. Well, we know who you are in the film. You're both. So let's hear who you are in general.
Yeah, sure. Of course. No, of course. Well, I'm Darren. I grew up in Long Island and was and still am an actor in New York and in Los Angeles. I've been in New York for many years, and now I'm recently in LA. And I actually met Luke in New York. We were both working at a hotel, as actors do. We became friends, and we worked on this project. Gosh, it was knowing each other about 8 or 9 years. Yeah. So I mean, again, as I said, like I worked on bartending as a bartender, which I play in the film. Done a lot of that in my real life, and then fortunately, it all paid off on the screen for a limited series called Welcome to Chippendales, which is on Hulu. And then even better was me playing another bartender, a bit of more mystical bartender, a protector in Bonding, directed by starring Luke Rex, right there. So.
Amazing.
Well, Darren, I hate to correct you, but we've actually known each other for 17 years.
17 years. Oh, my goodness.
I moved out
to New York in 2007 when we were working at Tribeca Soho Grand.
It's been that long. I guess maybe I wanted to block out the amount of
I know.
Incredible, guys.
So,
amazing. And bringing it to Luke. You met this man. Luke, tell us about you.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I graduated with a diploma in acting in 1996 in Sydney, Australia. And then I did some film and TV down under and always wanted to live in New York and had a fascination with the States, as a lot of Australians do. And I was fortunate to win a green card in 2005, moved out to New York 2006, pursued the acting, came out to LA 2009. And then in my mid-30s, I just started to feel like I wanted another string to my bow, and I had some regrets that I dropped out of my undergrad in Australia in my Bachelor of Arts. So I went back to community college and thus began a 10-year journey into getting a doctorate in clinical psychology, which I'm now just in the process of waiting for my license number because I've passed all my exams, and it's been a hell of a journey.
Wow.
I was so happy that I, graduated, did my dissertation 2022, that I decided to take 3 months off and make a short film. I've always been interested in directing, but had never, stepped behind the camera to really do that on my own.
Oh.
And so I, as with a lot of filmmakers, I'm sure the process can be quite vulnerable and daunting because you're wondering, wow, is this a good idea? Is it going to work? But I just bit the bullet, and I knew Darren. He's a fantastic actor, and cast other people I knew, and had a great location. And Laura came on board, and everything came together beautifully. So very proud of this project. It's definitely the best thing I've done.
Amazing. So this was your directorial debut.
My directorial debut, and I've actually been given a nomination for the interesting festival out of France called the Red Awards, and they do like a lot of festivals now, a bi-monthly or monthly award thing, and I won the award for best first time director, and I've been nominated for the annual awards there, which come up in May, for best first time director. So that's been a cool little recognition as well.
Incredible. Congratulations, Luke. That is insane. We're going to talk about most of what you just mentioned, but first, let's talk about Bonding. What is the film about, and what was your inspiration for writing it?
Well, the inspiration was I've always loved James Bond, as Darren has, and I had this idea, what would it have been like when he was younger, before he was MI6, and did he drink stirred martinis, shaken martinis? And I just sort of was having fun with the whole genre. And initially, the idea started off when he was like 19, 20 in a bar in London, and then I thought, well, I don't think I should be Bond. What if I was his? I mean, it doesn't give too much away, but what if I was his son? So, what if Bond had a son and they'd never met? What would that look like? And then I think just also having a really strong interest in the X-Files and esotericism and Reiki healing energy and the runes that came out of Germanic Norway area, I thought it'd be cool to integrate a spy genre with kind of the X-Files. So that's kind of where the story kind of went some different directions as well. But it's essentially, in a nutshell, it's about a clinical forensic psychologist who's at a bar enjoying a drink before hopping on a plane to go to Mexico to visit his girlfriend. And he's confronted by a couple of underground mysterious operatives who, pressure him to join them on a mission. And Darren's character plays this sort of mysterious bartender who we're not really sure if he's a goodie or a baddie, which is kind of one of the beauties of this short. It opens up a lot of doors, and it doesn't answer a lot of questions. So the audience is left to their own devices, like a choose your own adventure. And the story really ends on a cliffhanger where you really don't know what's going to happen, but the hope is audiences want to see more.
I was just going to say, leaves you wanting more. And one of the things I loved, many elements of this film that I loved, but the cast, it's not only are they extremely talented, but so much of it is unsaid. And Darren, you were included in this. What was it like playing Bo? What really attracted you to this role and to the story?
Well, Luke, obviously number one, because I've known, again, like I personally think the best directors are actors,
I agree.
Right? They have a shorthand, they know, and you want a collaboration. You want someone who is going to maybe let's try this, let's try that. They have their vision, they're very focused on their vision, but they're also malleable with it. And again, we're into the same stuff, like the James Bond, the mystical stuff, the X-Files, things like that. And yeah, Luke, I always like working with Luke, and this was really the first time we were going to be working on kind of a professional level together. So I was all in. I was all in and ready to do it. And again, I liked, again, as he said before, I really liked, infusing other elements to a spy James Bond thing, which leaves a lot more open to kind of a world building situation. So, and again, to also play a role that was a bit, comedic, mysterious, a little clumsy, but also very can also be prepared and was I just all of that kind of gave me some room to play with. And I honestly, as an actor on set, that's really what you want to do. You want to have a little room, and the director's there to shape that. But it's a very pleasurable environment. It's not a stressful environment. It's work, but it's play.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'd agree with that. I'd just say that, yeah, we shot it in one day. It was about a 14-hour shoot. It was definitely very smooth. I mean, Laura was fantastic. She was so good with the setups, and it was exactly as I wanted. And the whole process of doing the film was extremely. I learned a lot, and yeah, just very proud of the end result and how it looks and sounds.
Mhm.
The music was so much fun to do, and Yannicka Olin's fantastic as Anastasia, and Ryan Stroud as Darius, as the African American operative, or we don't really know who he works for or who they work for, but yeah, it was a really pleasurable experience and a beautiful location
Yeah.
at the Edmund.
Yeah.
So we got very lucky. Yeah.
I cannot believe it was shot in one day. That's incredible. But I definitely agree with the aesthetic of the film, Laura's camera work and everyone,
Yeah.
just all the elements, like I said, are just so on point. And you say you learned a lot. You shot this in one day. Can you
Yeah.
talk to me about what was the biggest takeaway? This was your first time directing a film. What was the biggest takeaway out of making Bonding for you?
I think two things come to mind. One was trusting in myself, trusting in the process, and really being open to collaboration with all of the other actors. From, can I change that line, to, you know, even in the edit process, what if we do this instead? So really trying to find a balance between maintaining my vision and standing by what has been a well thought out idea versus letting go of what I think is the best thing for the film, and trying to declaim this sort of sense of, yeah, I wrote it and directed it, but it's not my idea. Ideas come from another place. And I think as artists, we just kind of channel those ideas. And so that they're not really ours. And so therefore they're everybody's. And we try, and I was trying to, yeah, just find that balance. And the other thing that I really learned was, there was one other thing I was going to say, but that, yeah, planning is difficult for me in general. I mean, you might not think so because I have a doctorate, but honestly, I really struggle planning. It requires a lot of concentration. And my first AD, Doria Anselmo, said, make sure you do a shot list. So I did a lot of blocking diagrams and made sure I understood, where people were going to be. And for me as the actor, I was so focused on, I knew every order of the setups that we were going to do and the sequence of the shots, and it flowed so well, and actually helped my acting because I couldn't really think too much about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say those things: planning and trusting in the collaborative process.
And I'm sure both of those were so important, especially starring in it and directing it. You have to trust the people around you and you have to plan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're running a little out of time, but I really want to hear from you because, I mean, the thing that I really liked about this was, and reading your bio, it's a kind of a mix, or bonding, we might say, a little pun intended, of psychology and filmmaking. So from both of you, Darren, let's hear from you first. You've done a lot. You have a lot of credits. What do you think is so important about storytelling and films? Why do we need art in the world? Big question.
Yeah, right. Well, obviously it's about self-reflection. It's about escapism. It's about hope. It's about inspiration. I mean, growing up, I'm a self-proclaimed cinephile. Films have always moved me. They've wanted to, just even be entertained, to laugh, to just be more curious about things. I think it just always puts me in a better mood. And just, again, it's about understanding everything, everyone. I mean, that's really, and again, as selfishly, I enjoy it because just the performance aspect. It's also, I know it sounds very, well, it doesn't sound like anything, but about performing and about doing that, it's really, you're present, right? Think about, right, when we are not they're always racing, we're always mind, we're always thinking, we're always future tripping. You have to be in the present, which is something that I think probably for my mental health is also very good. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Speaking of the mental health, Luke, I mean, you obviously you're an actor, writer, now director, but you definitely have that psychology background. Why is it so important? What's storytelling mean to you, and especially when it comes to the psychological aspect?
I'll get this done in 1 minute for you.
Love it. Thank you.
So, well, I think that when people go to the cinema and live theater, but particularly the cinema, where it's like this dark world and then this light comes up in front of us, it gives us that opportunity to empathize, actually do a bit of film therapy with the youth I work with, because some of them struggle with empathy, but it's a great medium for developing empathy, for seeing yourself in the lives of the characters, shared experience. I think film offers us the opportunity to really raise our vibration and consciousness as a people, and in expand awareness. So I think that film is extremely important, and art as well. But really think that the dark space plays a significant aspect. The dark and the light. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
you.
Thank you for making Bonding. We could talk all day, and I know, I mean, I know you also composed this original song, Ascension. There's so much that we didn't get to talk about, guys. So I'm really sorry, but come watch Bonding, guys. Come check out gsff.org/tickets. See it Saturday, March 23rd. The film block starts at 2:30 p.m. at Asbury Lanes. Definitely come check it out. And Darren, Luke, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Congratulations.
Thanks,
Thank you, Sophia. Nice to meet you. Thank you, guys. It's great.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.